Have you ever just stopped and wondered, how did I get here? Well, let's talk about that. We're going to pull back the curtain on how the smallest choices you make every single day, the ones you don't even think about, are actually the secret architects of your entire life. So let me just ask you, straight up, when you think about the big moments, the turning points in your life, what comes to mind? What are the decisions that you think really, truly shaped who you are today? Is it that huge decision about what you were going to do for a living? You know, the one that supposedly set you on your path? Or maybe it was more personal, right? Like choosing who to marry, a single moment that kind of changes the trajectory of everything that comes after. Or, hey, maybe it was that big dramatic leap of faith, packing up all your stuff and starting over somewhere totally new. Yeah, these are the big, splashy stories we tell ourselves, aren't they? I quit my job and my life changed forever. We love this idea that our lives are built on a few of these huge, dramatic decisions. But what if that whole story is kind of a lie? What if the real force that's shaping your life is something much, much quieter and way more powerful? Okay, so let's dive into it. The real fight isn't against some big, obvious villain. No, we are actually fighting an invisible enemy, our own programming. It's like this invisible code that's running our lives on total autopilot. And the piece of software at the heart of all this is something called the decision loop. This is the unseen cycle that gets our automatic behaviors installed without us even realizing what's happening. And look how simple it is. It all starts with a trigger. Let's say you feel bored. That leads to a split-second decision. I'll check my phone. Then comes the action. You start scrolling. The result? You feel a little hit of entertainment, a little distraction, and then the most important part, reinforcement. Your brain goes, hey, that felt pretty good. That got rid of the boredom. And boom, just like that, the loop is locked in. And this is so, so important to get. When you're struggling to change a bad habit, you're not fighting a character flaw like laziness. You are literally fighting against an automated program that has been installed deep in your brain. And you want to know what makes it even harder to break these loops? There's another invisible enemy working against you. Every single day, you're making thousands of tiny choices. What to wear, what to eat, which email to answer first. It all drains your mental battery. They call it decision fatigue. And it's the real reason why, at the end of a long day, you default to scrolling on the couch instead of going to the gym. Your willpower is just empty. So what's the solution we always hear? Just try harder. Just have more willpower. But honestly, that whole idea is a trap. You see, the people we look at who seem to have incredible self-control, they don't actually have some secret reserve of willpower. Not at all. They've just been smart enough to create a world where they barely need to use it. They have fewer temptations to fight because they've built environments and systems where the good choice is the easy choice, the default choice. So it's time to stop trying to force your way through a badly designed day. The real game changer isn't grit or willpower, it's intelligent design. Which brings us to the real solution. We have to make a shift away from relying on discipline, which, let's be honest, fails us the second we get tired, and toward designing our lives so they work for us automatically. I mean, just look at the difference here. Willpower is exhausting. It requires constant energy, and it's the first thing to go when you're stressed. But design? That's a one-time setup. It works for you in the background, making the bad choices harder and the good choices almost effortless. Okay, let's use a super common example. For a lot of us, our phone is the very first thing we see and touch in the morning. That one tiny action immediately puts your brain in reactive mode. You're responding to emails, notifications, other people's problems, instead of setting your own agenda for the day. So how do we design a better morning? It's actually ridiculously simple. Step 1, you add a little bit of friction to the bad habit. You charge your phone in the living room. Step 2, you remove friction from the good habit. You put a book right on your pillow, where your phone used to be. And just like that, reading becomes the new default. You didn't need an ounce of willpower, you just redesigned the system. It all really boils down to 2 simple rules. First, add friction. Make your bad habits annoying to do. Log out of social media apps. Put the junk food on the highest shelf. Second, remove friction. Make your good habits so easy it's weird not to do them. Lay out your gym clothes the night before. Keep a bottle of water on your desk at all times. So why does all this tiny design work matter so much? Because these little 1% decisions, they don't just add up over time, they compound. And the payoff, well, it's absolutely massive. Just think about the math on this for a second. If you get just 1% better at something every single day for a year, you're not 365% better at the end. No, because of the power of compounding, you end up being nearly 37 times better. That's the mind-blowing impact of these tiny, consistent choices. And this quote just says it all, doesn't it? We don't rise to the level of our ambitious goals. We fall to the level of our systems, to the defaults we have in place for our normal, tired, unmotivated days. At the end of the day, your life is simply the sum of those defaults. So I'll just leave you with this thought. This isn't about some massive overnight transformation. It's about making one small, smart change to your environment. One tiny choice that makes a good decision automatic. So my question to you is, what's the 1% decision you're going to design today?